Good morning, welcome to our Monday morning session. Good to see Yvonne, Keith, Debbie, Tom on Zoom. Welcome if you're joining on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, we've got some people there. We've got Rachel, I can see. We've got Andrea on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Let's start, let's crack on. I would like to just have a little reminder for those who've been joining the class. If you're new to the class, just having a little focus on sort of like where we can create that space for the breath. But we'll start off first, as always, with our feet shoulder width apart. Make sure you've got plenty of space around you, and we'll just start with a little bit of knocking, getting that spine moving and breathing just lightly. Very gently in and out through the nose, not trying to breathe in any particular way, not focusing on the breath, just keeping the lips lightly together. You can position the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And you're just tapping across your belly and your back. Keeping the spine long. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing between the shoulder blades. And then slowing it down, gradually slowing it down, changing the emphasis of just that little bit of resistance. Imagine the air is just a little bit denser around you, or you're running your fingers through water waves. Nice, and take a rest. Let's do a bit of a spine wave. So we lead with the chin. I'm going to show you from the side. It's easy for you to see from the side. Obviously you can keep facing forwards. You take your feet shoulder width apart, you lead with the chin, a little bit of softness in the knee, and we get that little ripple through the spine. So you're getting that little bit of an arch in your back there, and then you're rolling up. Remember, with all of these movements, as I say, each session, it's not about forcing, it's not about pushing. So we're just getting that spine wave. Ripple through the spine. Just going at your own comfortable pace. You might be getting through a few creaks and crunches. Couple more. And then standing tall. Who's texting me while I'm working? Let me turn my phone off. Sorry about that. Right, let's do a little bit of that lateral flexion of the spine. I like this one hand on the head, very gently bringing the ear to the shoulder, and then Yvonne's already got it there, just pulling across. Really not forcing anything, just gently breathing in and out through the nose. And then you can look, if you've got a corner of the room opposite, look in the opposite direction to your ear to your shoulder. Breathing all the time. And then balancing the head back on top of the spine and swapping sides. Ear to shoulder. Gently pull that, slide that lower rib cage across. That gives you that nice little gentle lateral wave or flexion through the spine. And again, looking in the opposite direction of your ear to shoulder. Same direction where you're gently pulling the rib cage. Breathing. Breathing softly in and out through the nose. And then resting your head back on top of the spine, standing tall. And then we can lead into dog wags the tail. So pelvis parallel to the ground, and then just let that spine wave. Can you see how that ties in with what we've just done in terms of that very gentle, encouraging that flexion through the spine? Watch that we're not doing this. So if we're doing that, all we're doing is keeping the spine straight and everything's following. You want to get that ripple wave through the spine. Breathing easy. And then slowing it down. Slowing it down. Then we'll have a little bit of a shake. So shaking. And here we can do some cleansing and clearing breaths. So you can use the legs, you can tap your heels into the ground. And we're just taking that breath in and let go. Just create a whoosh sound. Have the tongue on the roof of the mouth, or the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and or you could just do like a nice, lovely morning. Cleansing and clearing, cleansing and clearing. Remember, the breath responds to your environment, your situation. It's not exactly the same every single breath you take, and vice versa. We can influence our internal environment by just thinking, oh, I'm fine, I'm calm, relaxed, nice full breath in and let go. Good, I'll shake all that tension away, shake the shoulders out. Good way to wake up on a Monday morning, get them ready for the week, and then slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. And then just stand for a minute. Feel all that tingling. I often find where, if you're tight in certain parts of the body, you don't feel that tingling through that part of the body. So it's quite nice if you start to get that tingling sensations through, maybe you've got a tight calf or maybe a little bit tighter in the hips and things. So the more you do the shaking, the more you free up and get that energy flowing, get the blood flowing, the more you can feel that tingling sensation through the body. Good. Have a little walk around if you need to have a little bit of a walk around. And then we're just going to focus on that idea of deep breathing. Remember, we can breathe deep without breathing big. This is the big thing, or this is something that is a real aha moment when you realize you can take a deep breath without taking a big breath. So when we think of deep, we just mean lower down. It's the location, not the volume. Because if we just focus on volume and we take loads and loads of deep breaths, i.e. lots of volume, we end up disturbing that carbon dioxide oxygen balance. So I'd just like you to rest your hands just on the lower ribs and get your fingers into the back of the lower ribs as well. Oh, sorry, your thumbs into the back of the lower ribs as well. And just rest there for a moment, just breathing naturally. Just letting that breath settle. It always helps as well to keep that spine tall. Watch that we're not thrusting those ribs out, because if we do that, the diaphragm's in the wrong place. Watch that we're not curling up into this position here. So it always works to keep that nice tall spine. And then just take a few fuller breaths just so you can feel those ribs expand. So I want you to feel when you're breathing in that you're getting that movement of the ribs out to the side. So you're just slowing the breath, taking it slightly fuller. You're making it deliberately fuller just so we can exaggerate that movement. Can you move your ribs out to the side? So what is happening as you're breathing in, that diaphragm, here's the diaphragm, it's sitting up there as you breathe out. As you breathe in, that diaphragm moves down, pushes the ribs. Can you also feel it in the back? So if you can breathe into the back. So can you feel those thumbs moving a little bit in the back of the body? Can you breathe into your thumbs? It's not massive movement, but can you feel that movement? And again, you can exaggerate it by taking slower, fuller breaths. And then when you've got that sense of movement, just come back to just gentle, light, soft breathing. And even if there's not a lot of movement there, feel that elasticity. See if you can just visualize the movement into the back of the thumbs, into the back, into the thumbs, and into those lower ribs. Should feel, even with just some very gentle, light, soft breathing, follow 2 or 3 more breaths. Good, and then give you a little bit of a shake out of your hands. Hopefully you could feel that movement, that sort of like expansion and contraction. I'm exaggerating the movement there, but you want to feel that elasticity in the rib cage. Next point, we're going to come lower down now. So you're going to find your belly button. You're going to connect your fingers like that. You're going to come to the belly button. You're going to come about 3 fingers down from the belly button, and you're just going to put a little bit of pressure on those lower abdominals. Now, if this feels uncomfortable, do stop, because sometimes it can not feel comfortable. But if it's fine, it feels good, then just you can put a little bit more pressure in there, and then just feel how this area responds to your breathing in and out. Can you feel that area, that little bit of tension as you're breathing in, pushing the fingers out? And then as you breathe out, the fingers just sink back in. So when we are talking about a deep breath, this is the area I want you to think of. If you think of belly breathing, it's not about using the muscles of the belly to breathe, it's about feeling that response, that reaction to the breath. So just follow a few more breaths. This is also, I found this is quite nice if you have any issues with your lower back sometimes, because if you're putting pressure there when you're breathing in, it's almost like, it's like filling a balloon up, and if you put a little bit of pressure on a balloon, it pushes the pressure in the other direction. So if I'm pressing there gently, it's lengthening out my lower back. So you can think of that as well. It's a nice one. And just to get that idea of a true deep breath that doesn't have to be a big breath, imagine now bring your attention to that air as it's flowing in through the nostrils. And imagine it's almost like a thin thread, a thin golden thread of air that goes through the nostrils, down to, if we're focusing on Qigong, the lower dantian, down to your dantian, and then returns as you breathe out. So that it's a really nice visualization. It doesn't have to be big breath, a true deep breath. Follow 2 more breaths. And then let go and have a little bit of a shake out. Good, so I really just want to emphasize that again, is that when we're breathing deep, it doesn't mean big. So when the diaphragm is moving down here, there's a diaphragm as you breathe out, comes up. As you breathe in, it moves down. It creates what we call intra-abdominal pressure. That gently pushes the ribs out to the side, out to the back, and then the pressure creates that pressure in the lower abs onto the pelvic floor. So just have that in mind when we're thinking about a true deep breath. Of course, we want to get the spine involved as well. So let's just do a little bit of work on our upper spine, because when we take a slightly fuller breath in, that spine extends here as well. So let's just do a little bit of heart to sky. So you're pressing your palms together there, and then we're breathing in and lifting your heart up towards the sky. Opening the throat as well, as that's quite nice to open the throat. And then as we breathe out, it's almost like you're going to a little bow. So we just do a little bit more rounding of that lower back, upper back. And then breathing in. And breathing out. And again, it doesn't have to be big breaths. It's just gentle, soft, light breathing in through the nose. Again, this is like a morning stretch as well. Get that spine moving, get that upper back moving. Lifting your heart up to the sky. Let's do 3 more. Lovely, and then take a rest. Come back to sitting. We'll do the final few minutes. I know you liked the alternate nostril breathing that we did last week, so we'll do the final few minutes doing some alternate nostril breathing. But I just want to again really emphasize that we often talk about belly breathing, chest breathing. We don't just breathe in one particular part of the body. You don't just want to be belly breathing or chest breathing is bad, belly breathing is good. Remember, the breath responds to environment and situation. But we have that ability to be able to take a big volume of air in if we need to, because if we're moving, if we're running, if we're walking, we need a greater volume of air. If we're sitting still, we don't need to be breathing big volumes of air if we're resting. So there's that whole idea of that, almost like the belly, the ribs and the chest are involved in that whole process of breathing. It's just dependent on the volume of the air that you're breathing. And we know if you breathe too much air, then you disturb the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So if we're breathing more than we need to breathe, we're breathing out more carbon dioxide than the body is making, we actually don't oxygenate the cells as well as we should be doing. I know it sounds completely counterintuitive, but it isn't if you look at the science, and it isn't if you feel it. Do you know what I mean? If we just breathe soft and light, you feel more focused, you feel more alert, you feel more attentive, and you feel more relaxed, hopefully, is what we'll get with the alternate nostril breathing as well. So remembering with the alternate nostril breathing, you can use the 2 middle fingers just to rest there on your brow, in between your brow, in between your eyebrows. If you've got your right hand there, your thumb is just blocking your right nostril, and your pinky finger, your little finger, is blocking your left nostril. Again, we're not pushing and forcing, it's just gently blocking off the airflow. And so we'll start off with our right nostril blocked, and then just breathing out through the left, and then switch and breathe in through the right. Switch and breathe out through the left, and then breathe in through the left. Breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Switch and breathe out through the left. All this is very gentle. We're not pulling, we're not forcing. Breathe in through the left. Switch and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Switch and breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Switch and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Switch and breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Switch and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Switch and breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Switch and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Breathe out through the right. Remember, you can breathe deep into the back. Feel that response in the lower abs. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Breathe out through the right. Focusing on that thin golden thread of air. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Breathe out through the right. And then I'm going to give you just a minute or so just to keep the rhythm going, but just in your own rhythm. So just alternating from side to side. Keeping that breath really soft and light. Gentle breath. Feeling that breath deep into the belly, into the side of the ribs, into the back of the ribs. As you're breathing in, that spine lengthening. Soft, gentle, light breath. And then when you're ready, you can just take away your hand and just let the breath settle back to comfortable rhythm. Just giving it a few moments, just that soft light, easy breathing. You can notice how little air you actually need to breathe. I think we often think to get more oxygen into the system, we need to breathe more air in. Obviously, yes, that is the case, but we need to breathe the right volume of air, because if we breathe too much, it's just like having a glass full of water and pouring more water into it. So in fact, the lighter we can breathe and feel calm and relaxed and focused, the better, but still remembering the depth of the breath, because it's not about tightening everything up to breathe light. It's about keeping that flow as we're breathing light. Excellent. Hopefully that has given us a nice start to this week and to this Monday morning. I appreciate you joining me as always, and I look forward very much to seeing you on Wednesday. So thanks a lot. Have a good rest of your day, and see you Wednesday for a little bit more functional movement. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.